Hey guys, welcome to TCR. Sid here. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today I'm going to take you through my little project and some of what we're doing around here to make a few repairs and finish some construction stuff. So I showed you in the last video, we talked about my little project a little bit and how I had done a vinegar solution with steel wool that I let sit out in the sun, as well as a solution with black tea and coffee sitting out in the sun for a few days. And what it's supposed to do with raw wood is help age it. We decided after some trial and error here that we liked the vinegar solution. It gives it this kind of rustic kind of charcoal, grayed, aged, beat up side of the barn kind of look to it. We're gonna use these for inside the dining room where the sliding glass doors are that lead into the mudroom. These lighter ones only have the coffee on it, and we're gonna use these in the mudroom. There's a lot more trim in there, and because of the red beams being exposed in the ceiling, we went with kind of the more reddish brown look for in there. So I'm finishing up these last few boards, and then we'll see how it turns out. All right, so a little experiment time here. This one I did with just the vinegar steel wool mixture, and it kind of is more of like a gray, brings out kind of the green tones in the wood. You can see more of the grain, I feel like. This one so far just has the coffee, these two, just has the coffee tea tannin mixture on it. This down here has the coffee stain underneath it with the vinegar on top. Now it's not fully dried yet to get the full color, but I did this kind of as like a test to see which version we liked, and I think so far Mike likes just the vinegar one better. The way it kind of stains the wood and kind of makes it look beat up and a little bit darker, which if that's the case, that's great because it saves me a step.
We have experienced water damage sustained over years on these custom wood doors that the previous owner had installed. I have since put up gutters above these doors, and I'm redirecting the water, but for years and years the water was running off the roof, splashing on the concrete and up onto these doors, and just did extensive water damage. So we're doing something a little unconventional. We're actually removing some of the wood from the bottom rails of these doors and filling it back in with new wood. In some of the areas where there was some rot, we're gonna do some Bondo. I don't know that any real wood worker or door repairman would do what we're about to do, but because these doors are these custom horse doors, and because the inside skin of the doors is still in good shape, we're gonna do our best to try to save them. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so after I stopped filming, I decided to change it up a little bit with just the coffee. I felt like it was too light. So I went over lightly with the brush, and the camera's not picking it up very well. Now keep in mind, these still have to be gone over lightly with a sander. There's a couple spots where I might hit it more heavily than others where I kind of drifted it along. But once it's sanded roughly, like these are supposed to be all dark, but like this back one, and these I'll show you over here, it kind of just gives it that more been outside in the sun kind of happening look. I think it's gonna look really good. I like how it worked out. So it was really, gotta be careful with that vinegar solution because it does get dark in a hurry, which I was shocked that it did the way it did. But with the vinegar and the steel wool pads in it, just like this, soaking in it in the sun, it just pulls that metal out, and then it just kind of stains it, and it's crazy. So once I hit this with the sander tomorrow, because I really want it to be completely dry, and I'll just lightly, either I will or Mike will lightly hit it with the sander depending on who's doing what. I might be painting the ceiling in Frankie's room. I think it looks good. I'm excited about this, getting this trim in the house and getting this project done. Getting rid of all that water damage.
Yeah, we completely rebuilt the bottom of the door. So we removed a whole bunch of material and put in a whole new plank. We actually had to remove a 1/4 inch of skin, so we routed this out all the way down and then put in a piece of poplar here. We've got some a little bit of putty on there, it's drying. And then we just kind of made a cool little coffer kind of kick plate looking thing on the bottom with poplar trim around it. And now we have to sand all this and stain it, and then we've got to figure out how to get the glass back in and seal it. And this horse in the middle has actually shrunk over time and created a space. You can see where it was actually pinned in, it's shrunk away from the frame. So I'm going to be filling this with wood putty as well tonight and trying to get all that dry so that when Nate gets here tomorrow, we can kind of finish some of the details on this and get a stain on it early in the day so that hopefully we can rehang it tomorrow.
So this is a hole, basically. When we moved into this house, there was a refrigerator here. But we had a refrigerator that we were bringing with us, which was this refrigerator, which was pretty new at the time. And obviously the one that was here was not as new, and this one was bigger, and we wanted to put this fridge here. Well, in order to do that, because it was an older fridge, an older house, we had to cut into this because it was like this much smaller. As a result, this cabinet door didn't quite fit anymore, so I kind of had it like jerry-rigged to kind of close here, but it was like just kind of a facade. Well, we took those off when I repainted all the cupboards in here, and it's just been sort of open. Right now there's like some vinegar in here from when I was like cheese making and doing projects, and grocery bags, because I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but in California you gotta bring your own bags or you gotta pay for them. So I have like a stash of bags. It's a little messy right now, I'm not gonna lie. Everything's a little messy right now with everything being everywhere. One of the things they're working on today is fixing those cupboard doors so that they will actually fit in this space next to the fridge where we had to cut the wall. And I'll actually have a functioning cabinet again here, and it won't look like a weird gaping hole. That's exciting. Let's go check on the progress. Woohoo! Cabinet door in progress. I love it.
All right, Sydney, I did you a solid.
Yes, you did.
All right, so how long have you guys lived here now?
6.5 years.
6.5 years. You've had 2 separate cabinet doors for a space next to your fridge that got taken out when they put the fridge in, and it has never been fixed, never been replaced. So what I did is I took those 2 separate doors, split them down the middle, joined them together, got everything tied together. I actually put a backer board on there so you guys can hang some stuff on the back of there, put some hooks. I mean, if you want to hang brooms,
Right on.
Your transportation can stay in there.
Ah, nice. Okay.
But no, it's finishing up right now, so all you're gonna have to do is paint it.
Cool.
Solid.
More painting, just what
Yeah,
I need.
I know you love it.
So the door is happy, right?
It is.
Woohoo!
So that we're gonna set the glass, and I already have the trim pieces cut for around the glass. And then after that's all done, it can be stained.
Did this get, oh yeah, this got filled in the gap where it pulled away. Cool.
Yep.
Right
So
on.
everything's looking good on this. Yeah.
Better than new.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Came out pretty good. So bottom's gonna be solid, the cap's gonna go on there, and we'll get that hung today too.
Yay! So that cupboard's looking pretty good. It's coming along. I'm excited to get that hung hopefully today, and the door hung back up and finished today. I don't know if they're gonna get the molding, the trim rather, I should say, that I stained yesterday up today. We'll see how long these 2 projects take them. But Mike's hanging some shade cloth right now. Are you being shady? Are you throwing shade, homie?
There's some shady shit going on over here right now.
It's getting to be that part of the summer, huh?
Yeah, it's too hot.
It's too hot to handle.
These things need some shade.
Shy, shy.
So
Shy, shy.
get the shade cloth up and extend the growing season a little bit here.
Extend the growing season.
Extend it.
Extend it.
She likes it when I extend things.
Oh, Michael, why do you have to do that?
What did I do? You don't like it? She don't like
I
it.
didn't say I didn't like it. So I just put the first coat of, they're having our lunch break right now. So I just put my first coat of this charcoal color that I have on these cupboards that I antiqued on this midsection where he put the wood putty and spliced the two cupboards together to form one perfect union. So I just gotta let this dry, and then I gotta rough it up a little bit, and then I'll throw on some of this aged glaze over that, and then just a little clear coat in that section, and it'll be blended in, and it'll look like nothing happened. So I just put the antiquing over the top of it. This is pretty much the final look. I did a little light sand in between, but I mean, if you stand back and look at it, it looks just like the other cabinets. I'm super happy to not have this big gaping hole sitting next to the fridge anymore. And he put this in on the back so we can put hooks here for like the measuring spoons and stuff, because those always seem to get like lost in the drawer, and then Mike has a conniption. So we'll be able to put little hooks here with the different measuring cups and spoons so they can hang in here, maybe even hang an apron, and have it all just kind of in one spot. So pretty stoked about it. I gotta say, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I really didn't have to do that much to it to make it blend and match the rest of it. I mean, if you really examine it, you can tell there's like a, you know, some spots in the middle. They're obviously different because I didn't paint the red, which was underneath these that I sanded to antique through the blue. You can tell right through here that I didn't do that, but where there was already still red, I left it and didn't paint over it so it would show through. Right now, I just finished making this week's batch of goat cheese. I'm actually doing a shrimp boil tonight too. So I'm making some potatoes, getting those prepped. I've got the corn that I'm gonna cut up, and I'll be starting that later tonight. Just a basic little shrimp boil on the stovetop. Nothing crazy, guys. Just a nice little Sunday treat. But he's out here sanding right now those boards that I did yesterday, and they look good. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Yep, those are gonna look good. They're gonna look good. So there you have it, guys. A couple more projects done. The trim work stained and ready to go up hopefully in the next week or two. Door finished, cabinet finished, and all of that squared away. Little pieces getting done at a time. Always moving forward on the projects. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you get the notification.